A summer of sport. The Women's World Cup kicks off tomorrow. And in half an hour, a look back at the Euro champions, the Lionesses, on BBC One after a tournament preview.
Hello, Matthew here with you live, your Thursday early morning announcer, making an unusual appearance on a weekday because this morning is a bit different. Finish your porridge, get your kit on, we're off to Auckland, New Zealand.
If you missed it, well, you're in luck. We've got the action from the opening day featuring Australia v Republic of Ireland at Stadium Australia and New Zealand v Norway at Eden Park.
We're live through the night now here on BBC Two for the FIFA Women's World Cup as Nigeria take on Canada.
Hi there, welcome to Friday morning on BBC Two and day two of the Women's World Cup. Now, we'll give it some welly in Wellington. Spain take on Costa Rica.
The weekend is for good food and great telly, so how about we go halves? We're bringing you the edge of 17 in 25 minutes, and to start, how about some highlights from the Women's World Cup? So what's on the menu for snacks?
We came together for Glastonbury, Wimbledon and now the Women's World Cup. Bring it on! Match of the day, live.
After a convincing win for Group C rivals Spain yesterday, let's go live to Hamilton as Zambia take on Japan in the Women's World Cup 2023.
Hello, welcome to BBC Two. Anthony here with you live, and what an afternoon we have in store. Perth is the destination as Denmark take on former runners-up China, live at the Women's World Cup.
Saturday night on BBC Three is all about the laughs, and we have got it in spade loads. I'm Christy, and we're jumping onto a 2-pint marathon from 9 o'clock and kicking off the evening with a massive kickabout.
Sunday morning on BBC Two, a very early start. Dan here with you. It's a big one. The stage is set as the World Cup kicks off for both Sweden and South Africa. The endeavour begins from down under.
Hello, welcome to Sunday on BBC One. I'm here live with you. Right then, as we kick off the second half of the weekend, I know you've got that early morning energy for Women's World Cup action.
And relax. It's finally Sunday here on BBC Three. I'm Christy, and tonight just sit back and indulge in the drama of the traitors Australia at 8. Now, coming in hot are the Women's World Cup highlights. Let's get up to speed with the Women's World Cup.
Match of the day taking us live through the night on BBC One now. Colombia face Korea Republic for their tournament opener down under in the Women's World Cup.
We're in the mood for footy tonight with squad goals in 25 minutes. But first, we've got all the highlights from the Women's World Cup. Hello, Jenny here on BBC Two, introducing two Group C teams out on that field. Kicking off Wednesday morning live, Spain versus Zambia. If you fancy a midweek movie night, we've got you covered with the death-defying, jaw-dropping Gravity in 25 minutes. But now, we've got all the highlights from the Women's World Cup.
Two titans of world football go head-to-head live throughout the night now on BBC One. Will the Netherlands get revenge for the 2019 World Cup final, or will the USA continue their relentless pursuit of success?
Now, the latest tasty tournament action live on BBC Two as co-hosts Australia take on Nigeria. Keep watching for the goals at the Women's World Cup.
It's Friday morning on BBC One, Christy with you live, and while we might still be waking up, our Lionesses are ready and raring to take on Denmark down under.
We're footy mad on BBC Three. Dug In Till I Die is in 25 minutes, and it was a shaky start for the Lionesses, so how did they get on against Denmark? Highlights from the Women's World Cup now on BBC Three.
Welcome to Saturday morning on BBC Two. Matthew watching with you into the action now live at the Women's World Cup.
Now with two halves and one winner. Will it be France or Brazil? Pick a side for the Women's World Cup live on BBC One.
Saturday night, God, it feels good. Welcome along to BBC Three. Matt here with you tonight. As always, we've got time for a few 2 pints here at 9 o'clock. But first, let's catch up with today's action from the Women's World Cup.
It's a double bill of live Women's World Cup football on BBC Two now. Switzerland v New Zealand play after Korea Republic v Morocco. Good morning. If you're just waking up to us, we're football crazy this Sunday here on BBC Two, joining the FIFA Women's World Cup as Switzerland take on New Zealand.
The weekend's almost done, but that doesn't mean the fun has to be. Matt here with you tonight on BBC Three. Timothy Chalamet and Steve Carell star in your Sunday night film Beautiful Boy at 9:10. Now let's catch up with all the latest action from the Women's World Cup.
Welcome to Monday morning on BBC Two. I'm Maria live. With Australia getting frustrated by the rain at the Ashes, let's see how they fare against Canada now on home turf in the Women's World Cup 2023.
It's been a mega tournament down under so far, and it's time to catch up with all the highlights from today's action at the Women's World Cup.
Bikers in the City of Angels turning into vampires. It's all kicking off crazy, my peeps, on 3 and 25 minutes in the Lost Boys. Now, big moments means taking your chances when you got the ball and in the spotlight, shining for the glory.
Hello, Scott here this Wednesday morning, warmed up and Women's World Cup ready. Now on BBC Two, in a change to the build match, South Africa take on Italy.
We catch up with squad goals, Dug In Till I Die in half an hour. Now it's all at stake. It's a big one in Group F. Can the Reggae Girls and Atlanta Primers stop Brazil? Let's get to the pitch and the action. We have highlights from more group games also to keep you well excited. It's all kicking off.
As the last group games are played today, BBC Two has the buzz of the Women's World Cup. Live in Brisbane, it's South Korea v Germany.
Now the football fever goes on, big balling and goals to keep the game spirit alive. More highlights from the Women's World Cup.
What a way to start our Saturday. There have been shock exits and some cracking goals. And now the excitement steps up as we head into the final 16 and go live to Auckland for coverage of Switzerland v Spain.
Your 2 Pints Marathon is on the way in 30 very short minutes, but first on BBC Three, it's crunch time at the World Cup, and here's all the action from today's round of 16.
Now BBC One, it's that time for some electrifying action. Pride on the pitch with scores to be settled. Netherlands versus South Africa are about to give it everything.
Sucking the fun out of the Californian coast. Lost Boys is our Sunday night film in half an hour. First on BBC Three, after scraping through the group stages, how did the USA get on in their knockout game earlier today?
Morning, thanks for joining us on BBC One. Tony here live. The Women's World Cup has Australia versus Denmark at 11. First, the whole nation is rooting for our team. England versus Nigeria.
We're getting down and dirty with our Ruck Stars in 25 minutes here on BBC Three. And Nigeria's Super Falcons were flying high in the group stages, but how did our Lionesses fare against them in the round of 16?
The Women's World Cup has been an exciting tournament so far, and right now and live on BBC One, the battle for the number one spot continues. Who will it be? France or Morocco?
Family secrets bubbling to the surface on BBC Three. Champion is in 25 minutes. Now, after our Lionesses scraped through to the quarter-finals yesterday, which two teams joined them today?
Hello and good morning. Have you got that Friday feeling? Anthony here live, and I certainly have. We're headed to Auckland for the second quarter-final as Japan take on Sweden, live in the Women's World Cup.
Stern words for the Scarlets ahead of their game against Cardiff. Ooh, Ruck Stars in 25. First on three, Women's World Cup highlights of two big games in the quarter-finals. Well, fancy seeing you here. Saturday night party here on 3 with me, Ashley. 4 back-to-back eps of 2 pints coming your way from 9. And right now, let's see how our Lionesses got on in the quarter-finals. Welcome to BBC One for the Women's World Cup semi-finals. Tomorrow, the turn of the Lionesses, but now we're in for a treat. It all kicks off as Spain face Sweden live.
Can you believe we're into the semi-finals already? Our Lionesses will be gearing up for their shot tomorrow, and we've got today's highlights for you right here on 3.
Hello, Anthony here live on BBC One, and what a morning treat this is. England v Australia. It's got such a nice ring to it, hasn't it? Two old enemies lock horns live in the Women's World Cup semi-final.
We just can't get enough of the Women's World Cup here on 3. Personally, it's all I can think about. So we're catching you up with today's highlights now.
It's Sunday morning here on BBC One and Sunday night in Australia. I'm Diane with you live, and my heart's pounding is yours. Now, let's cheer on the Lionesses in their quest to make history.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Sunday night on BBC Three. It's Asha with you, saving every last bit of the weekend. The race to the top is never easy. Movie Fast Girls is in 35 minutes. First on 3, time for the big one. How did our Lionesses do?